Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the facts of this case speak for themselves. The defendant, Aaron Livesey, killed Jackson Walsh. He admits it. The defense will no doubt argue that he did so out of some misguided sense of compassion. And whether he did or not is irrelevant. The Crown will argue the facts. Now, it doesn't matter whether Jackson Walsh wanted to die or what his state of mind was at that time. Murder is murder, and Aaron Livesey murdered his boyfriend. It really is as simple as that.
Not everything's sunk in about what's happened to Aaron. I don't think he realises the actual seriousness of the whole situation, the fact that he's actually up on a murder trial, when according to Jackson, you know, it was assisted suicide and he'd done the research and stuff, and I think he thought that he was kind of going to get away with it either way, and he was doing what he believed was right for his boyfriend, who he loved and still does.
I love you. And
I don't think he realises the ins and outs of a defence counsel who's going to question him and make it look as though he did it without Jackson asking. So his state of mind at the moment is kind of like he's set upon the fact that he's fine. Whatever happens now happens.
You admit your son had a life worth living, a life which Mr. Livesey ended.
Yeah, no, it's not what I meant.
No further questions, milady?
It starts off as quite a negative approach to the whole thing. I think everybody is against Hazel because she, in everybody else's eyes, she should be stood up there in the dock with Aaron, but instead he's taking the single flag for it. And the tension within there is very split.
Jackson, he didn't even have to ask. Aaron just gave him the drink.
Thank you, Mrs. Rhodes.
Because he knew that's what he wanted. I mean, that's why he did it.
You've made that perfectly clear, Mrs. Rhodes. Thank you.
What's she done?
And it kind of just goes worse and worse because people keep saying things, and the defence counsel is very, very, very clever.
I killed him.
And those were his exact words.
Yeah.
He keeps taking key points and people are saying things, and it looks as though they're like dropping Aaron in it, but instead Aaron's actually just going, tell him the truth, do it, go on, I need punishing, do it.
Did you want Jackson dead?
No.
And did you find him a burden?
No.
He was paralysed for life.
What, and you think I don't know that?
And then when Aaron stands up to give his piece, he just sticks the knife in and turns it because he thinks, I want to go down for this, so he says everything that the defence counsellor wants to hear.
Has Mr. Livesey ever hit you?
No, he hasn't.
Mr. Kirk?
You know, Paddy says a few things about the past, how he beat Paddy up when they weren't asking about that, they were asking about the assault on Jackson. Things don't look too good for Aaron, no, throughout the whole court case.
All rise.
If he was found guilty and he went to prison, I think he'd be all right, because at the end of the day, he would keep his head down, and I think he would just know that he deserves to be there, and he wants to be there, to be punished for what he's done to Jackson. If he's found not guilty, it'll be a slippery slope for him, because then he has to begin life outside of prison without any punishment and adjusting to life without Jackson. I think it'll be worse off for him to be found not guilty than guilty.
On count one, the charge of the murder of Jackson Walsh, have you reached a verdict upon which you were all agreed?
We have.
And is that verdict guilty or not guilty?